Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I hope it's beautiful wherever you may be. Here in Southern Ontario is a gorgeous day, and a perfect day to talk about one of the most beautiful destinations in the world. We are going to head to Costa Rica today and have a deep dive into our upcoming uh, Costa Rica tour, which I think is a fantastic tour. I've actually done it a couple times, and been to Costa Rica many times. So this should be something that I can speak about pretty well, I hope. What I'm going to do is, as we go through this, I am just going to shut off my video so that you can see the slides without my face being in the way. But I am here, and you'll hear me throughout. So let's have a look. So Travel Talk Tuesdays. Travel talks are something that we used to do a fair bit. We started them back during COVID and they were really popular. I think it was a great way to connect and kind of keep everybody excited about travel while we weren't able to travel. Um, and now I think it's a great way to kind of connect and go through some of our tours in more depth and be able to look at the tours as to see what is especially different and exciting about each individual tour. We do put a lot into planning our tours, and a lot more than just picking, any Costa Rica itinerary. We really look at some specific things in the itinerary, and I'm glad to be able to point those out and go through those piece by piece with you. So I am your host today. I'm Marianne Southall. I am the founder of the Women's Travel Club. Um, Many years ago now, about 15 years ago, I started the Women's Travel Club. I was already an agent, working in an agency that did a lot of destination weddings, and other types of travel, a lot to the Caribbean and such. But that wasn't where my heart really was in travel. I loved going to kind of exciting destinations all over the world and really exploring and seeing what those destinations had to offer. So more of, true journeys and travel rather than just a vacation idea. And that's what I wanted to bring into the Women's Travel Club. And the other part was I knew there were so many women, especially when you get to around kind of retirement age, that want to travel. They have, you know, a bucket list, places to go, things they want to see. They have the time to travel, the means to travel. But what they didn't always have was somebody to travel with, somebody who wanted to do that same trip with them. And I thought, if I could bring all these women together in a community, they would then always have somebody to travel with. They'd make friends, they'd make connections, and they would have people to travel with on the same type of tours they wanted to go on and see the places they wanted to see. Um, so with the travel talks, I want to be able to kind of one, give everybody a chance to connect and be on a webinar together, and two, to see what these particular tours can offer them. I do have Brittany here on the chat. So as we're going along, if you have any questions, you can ask them in real time and Britt's there to answer them, or you can save them to the end and we'll do a little question and answer bit at the end to give you a chance to, if you want to come on, or you can type it out and we'll answer any questions you might have. But in the meantime, Britt is there on the chat. We are recording this so that we can put it up on the site And that way, we'll also send you a link to it. So if you miss any of it or have to leave early or want to share it with anyone, you will have the presentation. So let's get started and have a look at Costa Rica. So Costa Rica is right here in the heart of the Americas, kind of right in the middle, and it is a really convenient location. It's only about an hour to 2 hours time difference, depending on the time of year. Daylight savings kind of comes into play there, but depending on the time of the year, for everybody here in North America, it's very easy to get to. There's a lot of direct flights. Uh, so Toronto or New York, you're looking at about a 5.5 hour direct flight. Vancouver, it's a little longer. You're at 8 hours, probably not direct flight. Los Angeles, LAX is a 6 hour flight. And then as you get down into the southern states, Miami's just a nice 3 hour direct flight. There's other direct flights from Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Houston, Tech, Dallas, Chicago, Denver, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Nashville. So if you're not super close to one of those hubs, you're probably a short flight from it. So it's going to be really easy to get down to Costa Rica. We're going in January. So for a lot of us up here in North America, it's kind of can be a colder time of year, can be really cold up here in Canada. And going down to Costa Rica where you're getting like warm weather. So for us Canadians in Celsius, we're getting up into the 30 degrees Celsius and the high 80s in Fahrenheit for our US friends. As you're on the coast, it's going to be a little bit cooler, and definitely when we're in the center in Monteverde in the cloud forest where you're at a little bit of elevation, you get kind of a cooler reprieve from those hot temperatures, but still beautiful, beautiful weather. So what makes Costa Rica special? Well, as probably most people know, it's one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. It's lush rainforests. It has two coasts with the Caribbean coast and the Atlantic coast. It's just a beautiful kind of natural area to visit. And that being said, it has a lot of experiences available. So you've got things like zip lining and lots of hiking and nature walks, but also, the water activities on the coast with snorkeling and swimming. Um, it's, what else can I tell you about? Just the animals, the nature. It's got sloths. Not too many places have sloths still. It's got sloths, it's got toucans, it's got great nature. It's actually where I got married. I had a destination wedding and got married in Costa Rica. So that's how much I love it. So let's start into the tour. Day one, we're going to start right in the center, and you will fly into San Jose. And this is kind of a big city. It's not going to be the lush jungle, but it's still for a big city. It still does have a lot of green space, a lot of parks, a lot of natural areas. And it's the largest city of Costa Rica and set in the heart of the Central Valley. Lots of museums, theaters, galleries, local markets. A really kind of great little hub to start in. We do have one night there at the beginning of the tour, but if you want to arrive even a couple nights early or such, we can help with that. If you do arrive on the day of the tour and you arrive before check-in time, so it's going to be standard check-in times at the hotel, but if you arrive early, you can store your luggage at the hotel and start exploring right away. So when you look at San Jose, there's so much with the markets and the museums and such. It's all easy to get around. Our hotel is within, a 10-minute cab ride to the municipal local market or many of the museums, the National Museum of Costa Rica, the Pre-Columbian Gold Museum, Costa Rican Center of Science, the Costa Rican Art Museum are just a few. There are even more. If you want to get around and see the whole city, they don't have the same kind of hop on, hop off bus that you might have in Europe, but they do have a VIP city bus. It's a double-decker bus, and it does a 4 to 5 hour kind of guided tour all around the city. And that's a great way to get a real feel for the city and a good overview. We're going to be staying at the Radisson, San Jose, Costa Rica. It's got a great location. It's right in the center, not too far from the airport. So it's not a huge long drive from the airport, but kind of well situated in the center of the city. You can walk to many markets and museums, or if not, it's just a short cab ride. Um, the rooms are nice. They're a bit basic. This is probably what I would call like a 3.5 low 4-star hotel. It does have a beautiful pool area, some nice gardens, and some very nice common areas, a nice lounge. So a very comfortable stay right in the middle of the city and very, very convenient. The next morning, we're going to get up and we're going to leave the city and head out to Tortuguero National Park. This is right on the Caribbean Sea coast. Here, the coast for the Caribbean Sea is kind of the more rougher coast, but this makes it a beautiful area for sea turtles. So this is what it's known for. It's about a 4-hour drive to get out to Tortuguero, but we will take lots of stops along the way. So it'll be a nice leisurely drive with stops, interest points, and all convenient stops. Once we get close to Tortuguero, the only way to get into our lodge is by motorized canoe. So we'll be moving from our vehicle to a motorized canoe. All our luggage will come with us, and that is the way we will get through the rest of the way and into our eco lodge. So Tortuguero National Park is a beautiful kind of landscape of these black waterways, little rivers that goes through with like mangoes and jungle. It is home to a lot of wildlife. So you're going to see the toucans, caimans, otters, iguanas, frogs, lots of monkeys, including howler monkeys that sound like monsters in the forest when you first hear them. As we're at the lodge, we'll do things like a guided walk to learn about the flora and fauna. They will provide rubber boots for the walk because it can be really wet and kind of muddy, but really exciting to see that jungle firsthand and to learn firsthand about the animals and the nature in there from experts. This area is all about the green sea turtles, and we do go on an excursion to the Turtle Life Conservancy, where you will learn everything you could imagine about sea turtles and their nesting patterns and how they come back here every year from when they're tiny wee babies. They first leave and they will come back every year to nest. There is an optional activity. So throughout this tour, there's a lot of optional activities. Um, and this one here is going to be a guided kayak excursion down those beautiful black waterways. Our home for these 2 nights in Tortuguero is going to be the Turtle Beach Lodge. This is an eco lodge. The rooms are fairly basic, but very comfortable. So they'll have everything you need, including ensuite facilities. They do not have air conditioning, but they stay fairly cool because it is on the coast and it does stay fairly comfortable. The lodge has a really cool pool that's actually shaped like a turtle, a nice little bar area. It does have access to the beach, which is a black sand beach, so a darker beach. The water can be a little bit rough here, so it's not really a swimming beach. It is a great long beach if you like beach walks. I did a fairly long beach walk along the beach. It's secluded. Nobody else is around. Very quiet. Very much that nature kind of jungly feel out here. You will want to bring bug spray because it is on the water and does have that, jungle atmosphere. So you might have also mosquitoes with that. But so you want to bring some bug spray, and also on this tour, you would bring some rain gear because everything is rainforest. So it does mean you do have a chance of rain off and on. While we're staying at the lodge, all the meals are included. So that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner are included. Once we leave Tortuguero, we're going to head out to La Fortuna. So this is about a 6 hour drive. So a little bit of a longer drive, but again, we're going to stop along the way. It's going to be a leisurely drive. You're going to have lots of comfort stops. Plus, we're also going to stop at a cooperative where you'll learn about the coffee making process. You'll get to try some coffee and have a traditional Costa Rican lunch. And then when we arrive at La Fortuna, you're going to be back by the beautiful Arenal Volcano. This area is known for its natural hot springs. So it's very volcanic here. This volcano did erupt in 1968, which gave way to a lot of the lush surroundings and the natural hot springs that's known for. So there's either like kind of commercial hot springs that you can go to where they've done a lot of um, making it into pools of various temperatures. Or there's also even natural hot springs are just like rivers with hot water in the area. Lots of different opportunities there. Obviously, some are free, some you have to pay for. The paid ones are really kind of a nice experience. They'll have kind of bar and lounge areas with them. In this area, we also do a tortilla making home dinner. So we are with a family in their home and they teach us how to make tortillas from scratch. And that starts with grinding the corn, making the tortillas, and then enjoying the dinner with the family, right in their home. Um, In La Fortuna, we have also a good selection of optional activities available while we're there. And we're here for 3 nights, which is a great thing in this whole tour. You'll notice that everywhere we go, we stay multiple nights. So this is a nice relaxed itinerary where you're going to you know, be able to unpack and be able to settle into your hotel room for a few nights and not be just rushing every day onto the next activity. There's also a lot of free time built in to take advantage of the many optional activities. There's so much to do here. It doesn't really make sense to include a bunch of activities when you maybe would want to be doing something else. So instead of including everything and having things that maybe aren't your cup of tea, you're going to be able to choose what really speaks to you and what are the activities that you want to do. So The optional activities here, there's stand-up paddleboard lesson, mountain biking, La Fortuna waterfall swim, and the hanging bridges, which are really cool. I've done them there, and it's just really nice to be up in that canopy of the rainforest, and you get really to see things from that vantage point that you don't see from down on the ground. And here we stay at the Hotel Montreal, which is a beautiful little hotel. All these hotels that we stay in are either eco lodges or boutique hotels. So kind of smaller family run establishments. This hotel has a beautiful view of the volcano. Also, like cute little rooms. They're all surrounding a pool area. You have your own little balcony or kind of back patio area to sit on. And you do have enough free time to actually enjoy these amenities. And we're at the hotel long enough that in the evening you can, go for a swim. If you're not taking advantage of one of the optional activities during free time, you can have time just at this hotel. It's also really well located in the La Fortuna town. So you can just kind of walk out the front door and or at the front gate and go into town and explore there. And it's a really cute little town with lots to offer. So that's it was one of my favorites. Once we leave La Fortuna, we have just a short drive. It's about 2 hours, give or take, to get to Monteverde, which is the cloud forest area. Well, on our way, we're going to go on a boat ride across La Fortuna Lake. So part of our way of getting there is the vehicle drop us off and we'll do the boat ride across the lake and then get back on the vehicle and continue going. So that uh, ride is very much broken up on this case. And takes us in a little higher elevation into the beautiful cloud forest. So the temperatures are going to go down a little bit here, but still beautiful and comfortable. So Monteverde also has a lot to offer. It's a little bit different, still has that very lush, very rainforest feel, but it's a little bit different, and you'll feel the difference once you're there. So from here, we go on a cloud forest guided walk through the fern. Everything is just bigger than life just because it gets so much moisture and perfect growing conditions. So these beautiful oversized ferns and orchids and other flowers. It's kind of a walk for the senses. Like if you close your eyes, you can feel the cool mist of the air, smell the flowers, hear the haunting call of the bellbird in the distance. It really is something to kind of enjoy and feel as much as experience. Our walk will be about 2 or 3 hours at a nice leisurely pace. It won't be a fast hike, it'll be a more relaxed hike. Our guide is going to be pointing out the different flowers and flora and fauna along the way to learn a bit. While we're in Monteverde, we're also going to visit the Institute uh, for Reforestation Project. And here we're going to have a lecture about the National Geographic projects in the area. And we'll actually take part in some of the projects. So we'll either be planting trees, assisting in some tree care, or collecting data to help with their reforestation. The optional activities in Monteverde are going to include hanging bridges again. So if you didn't opt to do it before in Arenal, you could do it here in Monteverde. There's a beautiful butterfly garden, zip lining. This is a great place for zip lining if that's on your list. Another coffee plantation tour or horseback riding. And while we're in Monteverde, we're going to stay at the El Establo Hotel. These rooms at this hotel have spectacular views. So they're kind of elevated up. We're already in that rainforest, in the cloud forest area, but we're a little bit higher. And the rooms, they've built them very high so that you can just have beautiful, beautiful views from the rooms. That being said, it is quite a large property. And with everything being built up on the hill, it can be a little bit steep. So they do have shuttles to help get you around, so that you're not always walking up or down kind of those steep hills to get to the common areas from your rooms. But really, really a beautiful property here. So after our 3 nights in Monteverde, so again, nice leisurely pace with 3 nights. There, we are going to head down to Manuel Antonio. Manuel Antonio is a national park. It's right on the coast. So we're heading to the Pacific Ocean coast here, and we'll get a different kind of look for the coast from what we saw in the Caribbean Sea. So the Caribbean Sea was kind of darker sand and rougher water. This is going to be more our swimming and snorkeling area, calmer waters and more of a white sand, especially in Manuel Antonio. Their beaches in the national park have this beautiful white sand. Let's see. So we get to the park. This park is known for wildlife. It is a small park. It's the smallest national park of Costa Rica, but it certainly makes up for it in its nature and beauty. So, like I mentioned, it's got those beautiful white sand beaches, but also lots of wildlife in the rainforest that surround those beaches. So you're gonna have different types of monkeys. So the white capuchin face monkeys, you're gonna have howler monkeys, and I think they're spider monkeys. So at least three different species of monkeys. There may be more. Sloths. This is a very good place to see sloths. Armadillos, which I don't know, they're hard to see. I've never seen one there. Iguanas, parrots, toucans, lots of other birds and smaller kind of mammals and reptiles to be seen here. We do have a walk through the rainforest with a guide that will kind of be pointing out the different wildlife, and maybe some more of the flora that kind of are important to this area. So while we're in Manuel Antonio, we will have some more optional activities, and these are going to be more of our water-based activities. So here there'll be kayaking, surfing lessons, catamaran cruise. I know when I was there with the group, the whole group did the catamaran cruise together. Hiking, horseback riding, snorkeling, and also there's whitewater rafting, not out in the ocean, but on a river is available if that's kind of something you would like to do. While we're staying here, we stay at the Hotel Villas Lirio. This is a great hotel. It is very tropical. I don't think the pictures here quite do it justice, but all the rooms have great views of the pool. Along the one side of the hotel, all the rooms have kind of a small, long pool that goes right along the backs of the room. So almost like swim up type rooms that you would get at a resort. Very lush, very tropical feeling. It is just a beautiful little oasis as soon as you walk through their gates into the kind of hotel compound. But it's also walking distance to shops and restaurants, still very conveniently located. After we've done our 3 nights at this hotel and really explored Manuel Antonio, we will head back to San Jose. We do have one night included at the end back at the Radisson, which just gives that convenience that we're not rushing to get back to fly home that day, that you have another night to relax. Everybody can go out for dinner together, have time to say goodbye. And then the next day you can depart at your leisure. Let's see this one here. Not sure why that. Hi, there's a slide not showing. I have no idea why. Um, okay, well, we're missing the slide that shows what's included on the tour. I can't figure out why. I'm sorry. And of course, it's too small to see. Um, let's see if I can just. Okay, we'll just. So I'm just going to talk to what's included on the tour because that slide didn't work. Okay, sorry about this. Okay, so we're going to have 11 nights hotel accommodation with the 2 nights at the Jungle Lodge, your arrival transfers. There's 13 breakfasts, 4 lunches, 3 dinners. We have private transportation throughout the whole tour. We have that sea turtle conservancy, the tortilla making and home dinner, Monteverde Institute with the lecture and the reforestation project. So we visit La Fortuna, Monteverde, Manuel Antonio. We have that boat tour, wildlife viewing in Tortuguero National Park, the guided nature walk in Santa Elena Cloud Forest, guided excursion to Manuel Antonio National Park, and you will have an English-speaking guide host with you throughout the whole tour. So this is an excellent value. As you can see, the pricing is really good for this. It's one of our essential tours. So that means that you're going to get all of the inclusions that are essential to make the tour exceptional. But we do make some things optional so that you're only paying for what you want. So instead of including a lot of inclusions there may be things that some you like, some you're okay with. This way you're just picking what really speaks to you. So the price based on double occupancy in Canadian is $37.99. So that's about 2,700 USD, maybe even a little less right now with the exchange rate. So, and just great value there, especially for our American friends. Single occupancy, which is going to give you your own room throughout the whole tour. So for all 14 nights, you're going to have your own tour, or 13 nights, I guess, 14 days. You're going to have your own room. And that's 6108 Canadian, or about 43.49 US. It's only a $350 deposit to hold your space. And a final payment is not due until November. So the Women's Travel Club, just a bit about us and why it might be good to travel with us if you haven't traveled with us before. We have a tagline. It's embark on a journey that will change your life. And that tagline kind of came about after we had been running tours for a while. And it was because we were constantly told by the members that travel with us that being part of the Women's Travel Club had changed their life, that they had made these friends, that they loved to travel, and now they always had somebody to travel with. And we truly believe that we're building a community. Just this community happens to be based around travel and our love of the travel and the destinations that we see. If you're coming as a solo traveler and you want to take advantage of a double occupancy rate, you can ask to be matched with a roommate, and we will match you with a roommate who also wants similar. Um, all our tours are designed specifically with the women who travel with us in mind. So it's a comfortable pace, no rushing from place to place, multiple nights at each destination, so fewer hotel changes throughout, lots of scenic stops, but also lots of hands-on experience. We know our members that travel with us want to actually immerse themselves in the culture and have those hands-on experiences when possible. You do have access to, when you book on a tour, to the member hub, which will list all your tours that you're going on and all the details you need to know about that tour. If there's any information we still need, it'll show in there. Your account details are in there also. Before each tour, we have a Zoom meeting with your fellow travelers, gives you a chance to meet all your fellow travelers and kind of get ready for the trip and know what you need to know, but ask questions and just get acquainted. The group chat during the tour, so this starts kind of before the tour, keeps going after the tour, and it's an opportunity to keep connected during the tour, but also before and after to connect with your fellow travelers. Of course, head office, we're here every step of the way. So, and if you're, really interested in this tour, you have more questions, you can always give us a call or email us. We're here to answer anything you might need to know. Plus, there's on the website, if you're ready to book and join us, we would love to have you. And there's a link there. But basically, if you go to our website, just look up tour, type in Costa Rica, and it will come up for you. Ah. Are there any questions? I know Britt's kind of been on the chat. Is there any other questions from anybody? Does anybody? My video back on? Mhm. Oh, what is the group size? I think we got that answered. Oh, is there a new? Oh, hold on. What is the age range? Well, we are open to any age group, but the majority of women that travel with us, I'm going to say about 50 and above. Sometimes a little less, like 40s. We have had mother daughters and such where we've had much younger, but the majority of women that travel in your group are going to be 50 and above. Uh, okay. Okay, well, I don't see any more questions unless anybody's got their hand up or no. So it's the list with optional activities price. Do you have to decide and book them and do? Okay, you don't have to book them in advance, but we can give you a list of the optional activities and prices in case you want to see them or you do want to book something in advance, but you definitely are able to book them when you're there. And you are also able, there'll be other options too, besides the list that we have. When you're there in each specific destination, there'll be lots of options of optional activities. So I would say it's almost better to kind of wait till you're there. The options we have are fairly reasonable price, but when you're there, it's even less expensive. So definitely wait, and I would book anything kind of optional when you're there. You're just going to get a little bit more options and better rate. No, you don't need to take a ton of cash. They will take credit cards. So I'm a firm believer in only a little bit of cash kind of on a trip and relying on credit cards more. So just kind of cash for maybe some gratuities or if you go to markets or little things like that. But other than that, credit cards work fine. What was the currency when there? It's the colon, it's called, which is their own currency for Costa Rica. So you would change your currency into that for cash, or if you go to an ATM and remove money from an ATM with your bank card while you're there, you're going to get the Costa Rican colon. No. Okay. I'll have Brett add the optional kind of for the optional activities to our website so you can see the prices that we have. But like I said, I probably would wait and book things locally. You'll have lots of options, lots of opportunity. And I think you'll get a little bit better price locally. Although the prices we have aren't bad either. So thank you everybody for joining us. Sorry about that one glitch with one of the slides. I don't know where it went, what happened to it. But I think we kind of made our way through. And next week, if you want to join us for next week, we are going to go to Vietnam. So we're heading to the very other side of the world, and looking at something a little bit different with our Vietnam tour. So thank you very much, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And thank you so much, Britt, for being here and manning our chat. Bye, everybody.